Hello everyone, welcome to the session of Fluid Power System. I am Purushottam, working as Assistant Professor in Department of Mechanical Engineering, Maharaja Institute of Technology, Mysore. In the previous session, we learned what are control valves. That means control valves, which is nothing but the fluid power devices which is used to modify the direction, pressure and flow rate in a hydraulic system, as well as the importance of control valve in the hydraulic circuit. Then under types of control valves, that is directional control valve, pressure control valve, flow control valve. Under direction control valve we studied the systematic representation, symbolic representation of direction control valve and construction and working of the puppet valve as well as the sliding pull valve. Now in today's session we are going to learn, under direction control valve we are going to learn check valve, pilot operated check valve, rotary valve and shuttle valve and methods of actuation. So as the name itself suggests, direction control valve, that symbolize controlling the direction of fluid in a hydraulic circuit. So in valve, which is having some openings, which is called as ports, through which the entering as well as the leaving of the oil which takes place through pipelines. In direction control valves, these ports are referred as or termed as way, For example, if a valve which is having 3 ports, then which is called as 3-way valve. If it is having 4 ports, then which is called as 4-way valve. Now first let us see the first thing, the check valve. So this will be the schematic representation of the check valve. The check valve is the simplest directional control valve. In check valve, what will happen? So the check valve which allows fluid to flow in only one direction, in the opposite direction the fluid flow is restricted. So that's why which is called as unidirectional valves. So if you observe the figure, so this will be this figure which represents puppet and seat arrangement of check valve. This will be the body of the valve. So this will be the puppet, which is nothing but the specially shaped plug, which is going to sit on this, which is going to hold by the seat with the use of spring pressure, spring force. Now, so what will happen when the fluid, here you can see this, when the fluid which is going to enter from this end, then the puppet, the fluid pressure which compresses the spring, then the puppet which is moving inside, that means there will be a space created between the puppet and the seat. So that will allows the fluid to flow. While coming to the reverse direction, when the fluid which is going to force from this end, so the fluid pressure which forces the spring, yes, so this forces the puppet against the seat, so that will form the closed position. For the higher pressure of the fluid also, so the seat, the puppet which is locked in the seating position, hence the fluid flow which is restricted from this direction, hence which is called as unidirectional valve. So here this will be the symbolic representation of check valve. Here you can see, so when the fluid which is going to enter from this end, this will be the free flow, so the fluid which flow like this. When the fluid which is going to enter from the opposite end, so the spring force which suppresses the puppet against the seat, so that will close the position, hence there is no flow from this end. So these check valves which is used for high operating pressures as well as the leakage which is minimum in check valves, and here we are using puppet and seat type of arrangement. So in check valves we can see ball and seat type of arrangement as well as cone and seat type of arrangement, and disc and C type of arrangement. Next, we move on to the pilot operated check valve. So here pilot operated check valve, as we know that the check valve which is unidirectional valve, but in pilot operated check valve, so when the fluid which is going to enter from one end, so this fluid which pressurize, which pushes the puppet, this will be the puppet which pushes the puppet slightly downwards, that will create the space in between the puppet and the seat. So then the fluid which is going to enter, the fluid which is going to flow through the outlet valve, but by using pilot pressure port, we can circulate the fluid from outlet port to the inlet port. We can circulate the fluid from this outlet port to the inlet port by using pilot pressure of fluid. That means, so these type of pilot operated check valves which is used to hold the hydraulic cylinder in a position. That means if you want to hold the pressure for some time, then we go for pilot operated check valves. So for example, in some presses, so when the ram is actuated against the mold, then so we need to give some time for to get the final product, to get the desired shape. So in that time, here the fluid is flowed from the air, so which is going to actuate the ram, then which is hold for some time, just because when the fluid which is going to enter from this end, the fluid pressure which locks the puppet against the seat. So there is no flow from here. So that means the pressure which was held in that position, when the ram is going to retract, then for this we are going to use the pilot pressure. Here the puppet which held against the spring, so the spring which is interconnected to the pilot piston. So we are going to supply the pilot pressurized fluid through the pilot pressure port, so that will extend the piston, which in turns pushes the puppet in downward direction. Hence there will be a gap between seat and the puppet. Hence the fluid which is going to flow from outward direction, that is outlet to the inlet. So that helps to get the retraction. If you see the symbol, so here, so this will be the free flow of the fluid from this end to this end. So while coming for the opposite tank, from outlet to inlet, we are using this symbol. So this represents pilot pressure line. By using pilot pressure line, we can flow the fluid against the puppet. So this will be about pilot operated check valve. Next, we are moving on to the rotary type direction control valve. So here rotary valves which contains rotary spools. So this will be the rotary spools. So these are rotary spools, so which is aligned in such a way that which is going to close or open the ports. So this will be the pressure pump end, this will be the tank port, this will be the system ports A and B. So which is going to align with the valve, so that will helps to open and close. That means that will connect or block the ports. So here, so when the rotary ports are operated, so these rotary spools are operated by using manually or mechanically. So to rotate the rotary spool, we need to apply some force. Here this will be the representation of rotary type direction control valve. So here you can see this will be three position. You can see the three envelopes, three position, four-way rotary valve. Three position, four-way rotary valve. Now at the initial position, so the fluid which is going to enter from pump to port A. You can see here, so from the fluid which is going to enter from pump to port A through the grooves which is present in the rotary spool. At the same time, the fluid in the port B which is going to enter the tank. So here these rotary spools which is not intersect each other, they are maintained or kept at certain depth. So hence, so at the same time the fluid will enter from pump to port A, and the fluid will enter from port B to tank at the first position. Then when you are going to actuate the lever, that means now the lever at the left hand side, now I am going to actuate the lever, so that will be at the minimum at the center position, which comes to the center position. Now you can see, so the port from the pump, so which is blocked. So the fluid from the pump which is not going to enter the port A, just because the valve which blocking the hydraulic fluid. At the same time, then from the port B also, which is not going to enter the tank, the fluid which is not going to enter the tank, just because, so which is also blocked by the valve, Then again, if you are manually actuated the rotary valve, then which comes to the third position, Here you can see, so this will be the P, A, B and T. So the fluid from the pump which is going to enter the port P. Here you can see the fluid from here which is going to enter in the port B. At the same time, the fluid from port A which is going to enter the tank. So from port A, the fluid, pressurized fluid which is going to enter the tank A. So this will be compact in design and simple as well as, but this one which cannot be used for pilot operation or solenoid use. So these rotary valves which is only operated by using manually or mechanically, and the flow rate is less here in this valve. Okay. So then we move on to the shuttle valve. Shuttle valves, so which uses two power supply of fluid. That means this will be the port A, this will be the inlet A, this will be the inlet P. The inlet A which is called as primary power supply, then the inlet B which is called as secondary power supply, and this will be the C outlet. So these shuttle valves are used when the emergency devices which is operating condition, in that condition for the safety purpose, if the main power supply is shut down due to some malfunctioning, then so the shuttle valve is used, the shuttle which is used to shift the fluid flow from main power supply to the secondary power supply. Here we are using two power supply on either side of the valve. Coming to the construction, you can see this will be the valve body. So here this will be the floating piston, but in this figure, this piston which is to the favor of the primary supply, we are using spring at one end. That means we are always supplying the fluid from the port A. So hence, when the fluid which is going to enter from port A, due to the spring action, the piston which is going to block the secondary inlet. Hence, the fluid which is going to enter from port A and which reaches outlet. This outlet which is connected to the single acting cylinder. So that means that cause the extension of the piston. When the power supply is cut off here, when the power supply, that is pressurized fluid which is cut off here, then the retraction will take place. Then again the fluid which is going to enter from outlet port, then which leaves from here. But in many of the cases, the shuttle valve which uses the floating piston, that means we are not going to favor the power supply port A. So if you are using the floating piston, then based on the pressure variation, so the piston which is going to block the port A or port B, port A or port B, then mainly which is going to work on the OR gate function. That means when you are going to supply the power or fluid from port A, then port B will be blocked, but outlet is completed, outlets that can be achieved. So again, when you are going to supply the fluid from port B, then the port A will blocked by the piston, then through the or C port the fluid will enter the outlet. So that is also possible. So when you supply the fluid from both the ports, that is port A and port B, then also there will be a gap between the piston and the valve body. From that the fluid will enter the outlet port. Then if there is no power supply from either side of the power source, then there will be no outlet fluid. So these shuttle valves which are used to reduce the shock and the leakages which are minimum in the shuttle valve, and here one of the major thing is the reversible flow is possible. Reversible flow is possible in the shuttle valve. So this will be shown in this symbol. Then, so these are about the directional control valves, that is check valve, pilot operated check valve, rotary valve and shuttle valve. Next we are moving on to the methods of actuation of the shuttle in direction control valve. So here we are going to use manually actuated valve, mechanically actuated valve and pilot actuated valve as well as solenoid actuated valve. So coming to manually actuated valve, if you can see this, so this will be the graphical symbol, so which is having 3 position and 4 ports. So at the either end of the envelope, that is on left end of the envelope and right end of the envelope, we can see this lever symbol, that is which is manually operated. Then at the either end we can see the spring symbol. That means inside the valve there will be a spool. On both end of the spool which is loaded by spring. So which is shown by this symbol. And in this position, that is this will be the center position. At the center position, so there is no supply of fluid from port A to B or B to T or anything. So all the ports are closed at the center position. When you pull the lever to the left hand side, then there will be a supply from pump to port A and from port B to tank. That means the spool which is going to, when you operate the lever, the spool which is going to slide inside the valve. Then when you are going to pull the lever to the right hand side, then again the spool movement will take place. Then the from pump, the pressurized fluid which is going to enter port B, then the fluid in the port A which is going to enter the tank. So this will be manually actuated valve. Then coming to mechanically actuated valves. So from this we can see, so this will be having two positions as well as four ports. On one end of the envelope we can see spring, and another end we can see the roller. So that means the actuation by means of some mechanisms, then which is called as mechanically actuated valve. So here spring is provided only on the one side. That means this will be called as 4-port or 4-way 2-position spring offset valve. So this will be spring center valve. That is the spring which is provided on either side of the envelope, that is either side of the spool. So here the spring is loaded on only one side of the spool, which is called as, that is why which is called as the spring offset. Then here also this roller, this will be roller which is actuated by using cam and follower mechanism. So by using cam, so the cam which is going to drive this roller, so this will be the NC position, that is normally open position. In this position, from the pump, the pressurized fluid which is going to enter the port A, then the fluid in the port B which is going to enter the tank, when the spool which is going to move by using cam and follower mechanism, then which is shift to the second position, that is this position. So in this position, from the pump, the pressurized fluid which is going to enter port B, then the fluid in the port A which is going to enter the tank, So next we move on to the third one, that is pilot actuated valve. Here, so the actuation which is by means of air pressure against the piston, that means the valve, both ends of the valve which is provided with piston, these pistons are driven by air pressure. That means air pressure which is used as a pilot agent here. So both the side of the piston which is actuated by this dotted line which represent pilot pressurized line. So when the air pressure which is not provided, then so which is at the center position, then there will be no supply of the fluid. When the air pressure which is supplied from the left side end, then the spool which is going to move on the right side, then the fluid from pump which is going to enter port A, the fluid in the port B which is going to enter tank. Then when you are going to supply the air pressure from right hand side, the spool will move left side, then the fluid which is going to enter from pump to port B, the fluid in port A which is going to enter the tank. That means to provide the larger forces in large size valves, we are going to use the pilot actuated valves. Next we move on to the solenoid actuation of direct control valve. Here you can see the valve which is having a spool, so this will be the armature and coil, this entire setup which is called as solenoid. Solenoid which is nothing but a device which is used to convert the electrical energy into mechanical energy. Here, so a cylindrical block which is having a plunger which is wounded with the coil, so which is called as solenoid. So when this cylindrical which contains the plunger which is in turn connected to the push pin, so this will be called as push pin. So when you are going to energize this coil, that means the electrical energy which is converted into magnetic field. So due to this production of magnetic field, so the plunger which is going to push the push pin, then that will cause the spool movement. In that case, then so the pressure, the fluid which is going to enter from pump to port A, then the fluid in the port B which is going to enter the tank. Then, so after that in the second position, so we are going to energize this side coil, then again the spool which is pushed by using this push button, then the pressurized fluid which is going to enter to the port B, then the fluid in the port A which is going to enter the tank. So by using these methods of actuation, that is manually or mechanically or pilot actuated or by using some solenoid, for the spool movement we are usually using solenoid actuation. Based on the application, we are going to use the preferred actuation method to control the DC valves.